Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Are you wondering how do you grow your stockpile and how do you maintain it? Well, one of the strategies once you have a lot of food is if you open one, then you replace it. You go to the store and you buy something else that can go in the back of that particular category. For example, maybe you enjoy eating chicken, and we keep hearing about the bird flu and that maybe they're going to be culling the chickens, there'll be shortages of chickens. So that's one of the categories that I put on my grocery list. I bought some large cans of chicken, but I didn't look carefully, and sadly, one of them has a big old dent in it. So that one needs to go to the front of the stockpile so that I use it first rather than last. Whenever I have a can or package that something has happened to it during the time that I bought it and brought it home, then I try to put that in the front even though I don't want to, because I don't want to put it into the deepest food storage stockpile and find out that the can has been compromised in any way. So I want to use it sooner rather than later so that I still get the full value out of that product that I bought. I also bought some small cans of chicken because then you have variety in your meal planning. If you have different sizes of foods, that gives you the flexibility to make a large meal or a small meal depending on the amount of people that you will be serving on that particular meal and if you care to have leftovers or not. I've also been rotating my fruit. Cans of fruit just don't last past the date. I've had some problems with that, so I don't try to store them past the date. They need to be rotated more frequently. So I stocked up on 3 different cans of fruit, which I was shocked that they were $1.99. I can remember when they cost far less than that. I also bought a package of applesauce because we've been rotating that as well. It's certainly apparent that prices are going up, and so you want to make sure that you do get extras of food you enjoy having, because the price you pay today is likely to be less than the price you'll pay in the future, so you'll be saving money over the long haul, if that makes sense. The today's dollars will be the food you'll be eating in the future when it costs more. So you're prolonging the savings that you got by buying foods when they were less expensive. Have you opened any new sauces or dressings? I bought some new salad dressings, some sauces. I also picked up another yellow mustard and some barbecue sauce because I had opened them or nearly finished them, so I needed to have another one. If you don't have an extra in your pantry, the next time you go to buy that one item, then buy 2 so that you have one to use and one to put away. But if you can take one off your shelf and use it, then you can just buy one to replace it. Depending on how big your stockpile is, you want to decide how many of a particular item that you could use within a reasonable amount of time. You do want to pay attention to the dates on the foods because some of them will last far longer than the date on them, but not always. And you want to try to have enough so that you can use them up before that date, the expiration date, comes around. You don't want to have so many you couldn't use it up in 10 years because that's not a good use of your grocery dollars. You want to have foods that you can rotate in a reasonable amount of time. You also want to try to buy foods in varieties. For example, I bought a box of cheesy scallop potatoes. These have dehydrated potatoes in a sauce packet, and they're really delicious and they make a huge amount of food. I can pour this into a clean canning jar and include the directions, and these are going to last far longer than just in the box. But then for variety, you can look for canned potatoes, whole or slices, and those are easy to open and add right into something else to make a nice hearty meal. Next, consider the categories of items that you use and what did you open and use of those items. For example, I just needed some light bulbs, so I bought a 10-pack so that I have some to replace the ones I use and then extras of those. Have you ever had the experience that I do? It seems like when one light bulb burns out, all of a sudden, within a short amount of time, all kinds of them are running out. It just seems to be something quirky, probably because originally I put them all in at the same time or something, but it certainly seems like you'll go a long time and all the light bulbs are working and all of a sudden you need a whole bunch of replacements. This way I'll make sure I have plenty of the bulbs that I commonly use. I also opened a container of Gorilla Glue to fix something, and lots of times after you open up something like glue, it just doesn't store as well as if it has never been opened. So I bought an extra Gorilla Glue to add into my prepping supplies stockpile so that I have a backup glue in case this one either gets completely used up or gets dried out and I need to have a new one. You also want to think about your hygiene supplies and your toiletries that you like to use. If you notice one is getting low, like I noticed my nail polish remover was getting low, so I stocked up on a big bottle so I'll have it for a long time. Plus, acetone is useful for removing all kinds of other crazy things. Don't think of it as a one-use item. There are lots of times that you might find some of the things that you have will be useful for removing something else. So keep adding to your stockpile, rotate, and then replace those items. Do it mindfully. If you do it a little at a time, you're going to have the things that you need. We live in a rapidly changing world, and it just is becoming more dangerous. There's a lot of discontent. There's a lot of unrest over what are going to be shortages, what could be happening around the world. There are a lot of reasons to be concerned. So if you continue to build your stockpile, think about the things that you need and how can I use them more effectively, more efficiently, and for more uses than they originally even were designed for, then you're going to find that you're better prepared and you're ready to face whatever comes your way. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.